What's up? What's up? It's Michael. Welcome to Comics on Canes. We are 10-1. We are feeling great. Defense finally played a great game. Offense was off a little bit, but they still, that's what's crazy. They were all for us, and they still scored 42 points.
Yeah, no, it's amazing, the offense. To Canes fans, it's amazing. To everybody else in the country, apparently, it isn't amazing. As news today that Cam Ward is not a finalist for the Maxwell Award somehow. Dylan Gabriel, who has 800 yards less passing than him, and I forget how many touchdowns less. Nobody has close as many touchdowns as Cam Ward. Isn't a finalist. Somehow he's not one of the best players in college football. It's crazy to me. But
how do you think? Hey, what's up, Sage X? Go Canes. How do you think that happens, man? Like, how can somebody say Dylan Gabriel is the best quarterback in college football when his numbers don't even match up to Cam's? Is it because we got one loss and they're undefeated and they're number one in the country?
It's because it's Miami.
That the reason why?
Because it's Miami. Because there's never been ever that, in my recollection, a college football program where a major publication that is no longer around, Sports Illustrated, like their cover story was Miami should drop football. There's never been another call, and they act like every other college is chilling. There's no kids messing around. Florida alone could have had like 3 of those cover stories if they wanted to, they're out of control. But I just think that the reason the 30 for 30 docs are the highest rated ones is because that old adage, from that, remember in the Howard Stern movie, the reason people wanted to listen is to see what happened next. The people that hate him, the number one reason is they want to see. People love to hate Miami. And I
get it.
I just think we finally have come out of the shadows for real this year, where they were like, oh, this team is legit, especially the offense. And I just think people were like, nah, we're not going to give them their due props. And it's insane to do that. I mean, Cam Ward has 34 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, and they don't think that's an elite player. Like, I mean, I know that he was a semifinalist for the Maxwell, but come on, those numbers are who's putting those numbers up?
I just don't know, like, what is. I mean, that just shows you the bias. There's so much bias in college football from SEC to the Big Ten, but also it's kind of like, what are they looking at? What are they great? Like, even all the draft picks, like if you look at Mel Kiper and all these, they're picking Cam Ward above Dylan Gabriel. Every indication is Cam Ward's a better quarterback, got better numbers, got more touchdowns than Dylan Gabriel, but he's a finalist and Cam Ward's not. Now, I like it that that announcement came before they play Syracuse, because that's going to put another chip on Cam's shoulder, where that's where he's from. That's who he is. Just a bunch of chips on his shoulders. So I'm not mad at it.
Now, that being said, shifting to Syracuse, as we know, Cam's stats for the year: 3,774 yards passing, 34 touchdowns, 7 picks, and the stats are unmatched, except yardage. Do you want to know who has more passing yards than Cam Ward?
Well, since you said it like that, I'm sure the other quarterback, Kyle McCord,
has 3,946 passing yards this season. He has 26 touchdowns, way less touchdowns than 12 picks. So he's got almost double the picks, or a little bit.
Well, that Pitt game, I think he threw like 5 picks, 4 picks, something like that. It was insane. Number of picks.
He had a meltdown that game. Now, he's passing the ball at a 65% clip. They have 3 wide receivers that have 60, or let me get you exactly that have 60 or more catches, 65, 66, 73. You got Aronde Gadsden Jr., who's from the Dolphins. His dad played for the Dolphins years ago, and Syracuse. Jackson Meeks and Trevor Pena. So they have like a 3-headed monster of wide receivers, or people that they get the ball to. I think one of them might be a tight end. I'll have to check that. But they are a pro style passing offense. They have a quarterback that can sling it. He's accurate. He's not gonna bust off a 25-yard run on you. If he does, we're in trouble if that's happening. But we are facing a team that is very good offensively and very good offensively into what our weakness is. Obviously,
which is secondary.
Yeah.
IMAX.
They don't run the ball as much,
Yeah, IMAX. I finally saw your question about the Miami Hurricanes jacket. You saw this. My wife got this for me. It's a starter jacket. You can't see it, but it's a starter jacket. The back is so dope.
Yeah, it's nice.
Not to cut. So my wife actually, and Canes Wear doesn't even support this show or anything like that, but we got it from Canes Wear. Well, my wife got it for Canes Wear on my birthday, IMAX. So there you go. I know you asked about the jacket yesterday, but Canes Wear right there in Miami. We were talking about this a little bit earlier. We'll get into Syracuse, the numbers like that. 3 of our guys not being a finalist is a slap in the face, but not surprised. If it was any other logo, yeah, basically if any other logo, they would have got like a couple people in. But we'll move to Syracuse. If you're just tuning in, we were talking about the disrespect Cam Ward got for what is the award called? Merit Award?
Maxwell.
Maxwell, whatever. The Maxwell Award, where they picked Dylan Gabriel over Cam Ward.
Yeah, exactly. It's Gabriel, Janty, and Travis.
Let me ask you this: that their offense, and they got a good tight end too, right?
Yeah, that was what I was trying to. I know one of those guys I mentioned is a tight end, so I was getting.
As a tight end. So they kind of mirror us as far as receivers and tight ends.
Yeah.
So they got weapons all over the place. The quarterback is playing great this year. Offensive line, not really sure about. I'm sure they're not as good as Miami's offensive line. Running is okay, but they're all about the pass. And I don't know enough about defense. And I asked this yesterday, didn't get a response. I don't know enough about formations defense-wise. I think they play great in 4-3. I think the only way they can really plant themselves and win this game defensively, you got to blitz. It's a big risk, big reward type of thing. We can't let the other team keep the ball for 8-9 minutes. So I don't know if you can do that in 4-3. When they got all these weapons, can you play a 4-3 and still play good pass defense, or do you have to go to the 5-3-3? So if anybody knows defense out there, anybody, a coach out there, leave it in the comments because I'm definitely interested and I want to put your comment up. We are live. This is real live. So jump in the comments. We will talk about them. All right. So as far as Syracuse, they're really good on offense. What about defense, Forrest? What's their stats on defense?
Well, that's the thing is, right now they're average. Like I said, their rushing game, they're only averaging 92 yards a game on offense. So they're going to be chucking the ball around. They are giving up 153 yards a game on the ground. That's their average. And as was well documented on this podcast, we are at 100. I think it's 87 a game right now. Mm-hmm. And we can run the ball. We have 3 running backs, 4 running backs with that can take the ball, and we're comfortable with them running the ball. We got speed, power, everything. This is what we need to do. This is the way the defense is going to be the defense. We're not going to be no superstars are joining our secondary for this game. So I know that we just having all this award talk right now about the Maxwell Award and where Cam's going to fall and stuff. If we want to win this game, we're going to have to do ball control. We're going to have to run the ball, run it down their throat. They're not great at stopping the run. We're great at running the ball. We have a great offensive line, and we should play that strengths, and then, obviously we're going to pass the ball too, but I think we can't have 1 minute and 40 drives. If we do as fun as those are and as good as we are doing those, we got to have 15 play. Take some time off the clock.
Well, it was interesting.
I can chuck the ball. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because Guidry in the press conference goes, he thinks the best, and it kind of opened the curtain to what Miami's probably thinking. He goes, our best defense is our offense having the ball for a while. Yeah. So I think that's kind of like what you said, a peek behind the curtain. They're going to try to dominate with the run, take time off the clock, give basically what teams do against us, which is so weird. We're going to try to do against Syracuse.
Yeah, I mean, we have to. This is the best passing quarterback we've faced all year. Statistically, I mean, they're a pro style offense. That's how they run it. I mean, he's a pocket passer. He's got more yards than Cam Ward. That's all you need to know. Not touchdowns and interception ratio, but he can chuck the ball, and he's a 65% clip that he completes it at. And we've got 3 dudes with over 60 catches. So.
And the dude, when he scrambles, he's dangerous. When he scrambles, that's where he makes a lot of plays happen. Miami definitely going to have to hold the end. I'm interested to see if they're going to put Akeem Messidor back at end. I hope so. I hope they play him at end because he was so effective there. Look, Barron, he was a beast at the beginning of the year, and I still think he's a beast. He hasn't played up to it, but I think he's going to have a great game. They got to figure out the best way to get all the best players on the field at the same time where they're playing comfortably. The problem is you could see clips of Akeem Messidor all year in press conferences, everywhere. It wasn't like he was enjoying it. He was like, I'm doing this for the team. And he is. He's a team player. He is a team player. But we all know where he should be at the end. But since of that NIL money, they had to move him. They had to move him because it wasn't best for the team, let's be honest. That one game we saw last week, we're like, that should have been all year.
Yeah, no, for sure. I agree. And I mean, Wake Forest, again, it's not the it's a very different offense than we're going to face against Syracuse. But where I think Syracuse is vulnerable is the turnovers. We talked about it against Pitt, but he's thrown 12 interceptions. They've given up the ball a lot this season, and we were opportunistic last week. We created on special teams and on defense. We even scored on defense, which we hadn't been doing.
Well, because we finally put pressure on their quarterback. We were getting sacks. That's what we need to do. Now, 818 Callie Kane said Pitt defense, who made McCord make mistakes, played a 4-3 base with a cover 4 scheme. They were disguising very well. I mean, look, man, I've never seen our defense play better than being in that 4-3. And I think that, I mean, for the longest, that's what Miami's played. That's what they rock, a 4-3. I know Gidgey kind of changed it around last year, but you got great running back. I mean, you got great line. I think we have good linebackers. You got Kiko. As long as you keep everything in front of him, he's a beast. You got Bissaint. You got what's the other dude? Allred? Is that his name?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I was just looking at
the linebacker. You got Kiko, Wesley Bissaint, and Allred. What's the other one? Alderman? Forrest, I'm talking to you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were. I'm sorry. Yeah.
What are you doing? Looking at porn over there or something? What's going on?
I was looking up. I was looking up what their tight end does. I was just looking
my guy. You just like totally. The linebacker's name Alderman, right?
Alderman, yeah.
Yeah. So you got 3 linebackers that can run, and I think that's where you need to be. And I just think that's the way to play defense with this defense you got. Don't put them in pass coverage. Blitz the quarterback, get to him, and get it done. What were you looking up for us?
I'm just scared of their offense because I was like, so they're like I told you, they have 3 individuals: Aranda Gadsden, Jackson Meeks, and Trevor Pena. They're all wideouts. They have 65, 66, and 73 catches respectively. They all have 800 yards. One of them has 743. They're running back Alan LeQuint, 55 catches out of the backfield for 415 with 3 touchdowns. Like, this is going to be, if we win this game, we're going to have to play perfect defensively.
Now, let me ask you this, Forrest.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Do you think this game will be more difficult than SMU?
I don't know. I think this will be the best quarterback as far as a pure passer that we've faced all year. And I think that'll be a good gauge for the playoffs as well. I think SMU and Syracuse they're different challenges. I think SMU's offense is pretty legit, but they run the ball a little bit more than Syracuse too. So, but
yeah,
I think this is a better gauge for the playoffs when we're going to be facing pass heavy teams. Like you look at at a lot of these teams out of the SEC or the Big Ten. Like if we if we go up against an Oregon or something like that, But
I do want to say this: you can win $200 this week on Comics on Canes. You have to be subscribed to the channel. You have to be the first in the timeline to drop the correct score. Only one score per person. Have to be subscribed. And if you nail the score, you will win $200. I will Venmo you that. You can start dropping your scores right now. But I also want your comments too. If you want to talk about the Canes, let's do this. But I will give out Sunday or Monday of this week / next week, $200. Have to be subscribed to the channel. You have to be the first in the timeline with the right score. Only one entry per person. And it has to be on this podcast, this one right here, the actual one we're on, not on a past podcast, not on one that came out 2 months ago. I'm talking about this podcast. Look at that. RAC people dropping their scores. We got 42-17. We got 56-42. Wow. I mean, I can see that. Is that something you can see?
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
What's the over on this?
The line is now up to 11. The over under is 67.5, which I think.
So the line has actually gone up.
Went up a little bit. It started at 10.
Oh, IMAX. What if you don't have Venmo? We'll figure out a way. You know, we can do a ghetto and do Cash App if you or whatever. People dropping their scores right now. Once again, you can win $200 this week after the game. Drop the right score. You have to be subscribed, first in the timeline, and only one entry per person. Am I missing any rules for us?
No subscribe, blah, blah, blah. No, and whoever's is first.
Whoever's is first. We're only taking one. Who's ever first in the timeline with the right score will win the money. So the line is 65. The over is 65, you're saying?
The over under is 67.5.
67.5. So they're saying some points are going to be scored this game. All right.
Yeah, it seems like it is. Yeah.
So basically what we're saying here, they both got great offenses. I think Miami's defense, look, their offensive strength is our defensive weakness if we don't get pressure on the quarterback. If we get pressure on the quarterback, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be 100% okay. Hold on, what do we got? They got to keep Kiko off their tight end and pass coverage, or it's going to be, yes, their tight end is basically Arroyo. Arroyo, he's just like Arroyo. Like, these dudes are beasts. So I agree with you. And maybe Alderman will hold the tight end. We don't know. We'll see. What do we got? 818, that's exactly what we should do. He's big and physical enough to do that, just coming off injury. I don't know who they're talking about. We'll try to figure it out. Tight end is going to be an issue. Middle of the field, man. Everybody's talking about that tight end, Forrest.
I know. Well, look, there's tight end, wide receiver, running back. They got them all. Like he has more yards passing than Cam Ward. I can't stress that enough. And this is
now.
What
let me ask you this, Forrest.
They throw the ball to everybody. So yeah.
Now let me ask you this: is he a drop back passer first, or is he like when we played that one quarterback, 3 sets, boom, out? Is he that type of quarterback, or is he one like that likes to hang in the pocket?
From when I watch, he's more of a pocket passer, but he's not like
which benefits our team then.
If we can collapse the pocket, get pressure on there, get to him, but he's he's not mobile. He's not he can get out. He's a good quarterback. He's got good footwork. He's going to be a problem, but if we get pressure on him. And that's what we did last week against not as good a quarterback.
Yeah.
So we got pressure on their quarterback to where in the second half, especially, they couldn't do anything. They couldn't
that's my whole thing. Big risk. Yeah. You're going to have to blitz. Because if you just hang back and play this cover, it's not going to be prevent, obviously. But I'll take Cam Ward over Kyle McCord every day. Whoever has more possessions will win. I think this game, but we're going to have to do like last week, disguise coverage, but blitz them. Because if we hang back, we don't play good defense when we just hang back and let a team keep the ball for 5 to 8 minutes. But we all know this, their offense, will probably score faster than that. So that's what I'm saying. This is a thing where we got to go. Everything's on the line. I read the interview with Cam Ward today. He goes, Mario didn't want to talk. Mario's all about 1-0. But Cam is like, yo, we need to win this game to get to our goals. ACC championship. Cam is talking about it. And that's what I love. Cam is talking about it. Now, did you hear all the nonsense with Luke Skywalker or Uncle Luke talking about Kevin Beard yesterday?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Oh, it's everywhere for us. Luke was talking trash about Kevin Beard, saying he's not bringing up the young receivers, and he was a terrible receivers coach. But yet we have 4 receivers with a lot of catches, and we're the number 1 offense in the country. So Luke is getting clowned right now because his whole statement was, next year when all these people are gone, what are you going to got? What are you going to have? You know what you're going to have? Top recruits that will get their chance to shine. But who said it and made a great point? I think it possibly was Gio Milian said. I can't remember who said it. Or maybe Alex Dono. I think it was Gio. I love both guys. Said it's hard to get new receivers in when every game has been close. And that's a true statement. It's not like we're blowing out every team. So I'm sure if we beat every team by 30, 20 points, we're going in the fourth quarter and every game is kind of close. So it's hard to put in receivers that don't really play. So I understand it.
And who are you going to take out? You're not taking out X. Between George, Horton, and Brown, they've each had at least one game, which it was their game where they were the hot hand that they're, scoring, making the big catches. Elijah is just, you should throw him the ball, 20 times a game, in my opinion. Like, he's unstoppable. I don't even know I didn't even see this yet. So I didn't even got that.
Read about it's crazy. It's crazy. Hey, hold on 1 second, Forrest. Yeah. Hold on 1 second. IMAX. He was on Hayes Street last night. Tell me what he said. Like, just paraphrase what he said in the comments, because I want to know how he was trying to. You saying Uncle Luke was trying to get out of this? Because I didn't see that part. Let's go to 904 Hurricane. 3rd down efficiency on both sides of the ball and red zone on both sides of the ball will probably be the key. Both teams will probably move the ball up and down the field. Miami needs to run down. Hey, we're all on the same page. It's weird that Miami's in a game where they're playing. We got to play like teams play against us to keep the ball out of the other team's hands. Do you think Syracuse has that same thinking? Or Syracuse is going to be Syracuse and do its thing? Because I fear we shouldn't have that attitude. We shouldn't be adjusting. Other people should be adjusting to us.
Yeah, but that you can't. That was our attitude going into Virginia Tech and Louisville and Duke and whatever. Like, let them adjust to us, and then we're having Cam Ward do miracle comebacks, to win the game. Like, at some point, you have to say what identify your weakness and adjust it. I mean, we know what the weakness is and adjust to it. And we have a strength in running the ball. We can run the ball as good as anybody in the country. So why not just wear their defense down, shove it down their throat, man. Quiet that crowd down. That's a dome. You don't want that crowd getting. I've been there before. It gets loud. It's a small dome, but it's like that crowd gets crazy. So you want to take them out of the game, and you want to do it like right away. You don't want this to be a fourth quarter, we're hanging on by the seat of our pants kind of crap.
All right. IMAX, basically what you said, he said that the young wide receivers don't get in the game enough. And I guess he's looking at Jay Smith at Ohio State. He's looking at a generational player. Jay Smith, that's not a normal. And I think JoJo Trader, and I think these guys, Nia Carr. I mean, next year we're going to be good. We're going to be good. We still need that one big dude that can take the top off. But, man, we're going to be good at receiver. But don't come after Kevin Beard. That dude has done so much. He gets the recruits. He has 4 receivers with over, 400, 500 yards, all of them?
Over 500. Sam Brown has
over 500. Come on now.
And Arroyo got 482 as a tight end right now. But here's the exact quote. Wide receiver, Coach Kevin Beard is the worst receiver coach in the history of the University of Miami. Can't develop but don't know how to rotate. This man only played 4 receivers the entire year. Even Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle comes out of the game for Miami. Like, I guess that's what he's saying is.
Yeah, but the thing is, those are professionals, pros that have played in the NFL. We're talking about guys that haven't really played in college. So let me ask you, Luke, would you rather play a freshman that doesn't have a lot of playing time over X, Horton, George, or what's the other one?
That's Sam Brown.
Now, Sam Brown, the reason why I didn't say Sam Brown, because sometimes I'm like, I'll play a freshman over Sam Brown. You know, sometimes I would play a freshman over Sam Brown.
He's got over 500 yards, as you said. But I'm just laughing because you're coming after Luther Campbell right now, and you go, all right, Luke. Like,
all right, Luke. No disrespect, Luke, because I was popping that coochie in the 80s, Luke. I was pop that coochie, hey, pop that. You know what my friends used to make fun of me? The one that passed away, the Asian dude looking. Well, I forgot his name in 2 Live Crew. People, when I was young, used to clown me all the time and say I look like that dude. Jadaeus Richards.
Fresh Kid Ice.
Yeah, Fresh Kid. People used to say I look like Fresh Kid Ice.
That is disrespectful to say you look like Fresh Kid Ice. No disrespect to Fresh Kid Ice, but that is yeah.
Fresh Kid Ice. I was Fresh Kid Ice. People were like, because you know what? They didn't have a lot of Asians that liked hip hop when I was growing. So everybody just said, you Fresh Kid Ice. Let me read this comment. 904 Hurricane. Nothing. Jadaeus Richards hurt for this particular matchup. He isn't the fastest guy, but he's physical and matches up well with bigger wide receivers. You know what? What's his name? Is Damari going to be back?
Wait,
what's the quarterback? What's the person that's out? That's Damari Brown, right? He's out, or
he's well on Monday. Cristobal said that there's a chance he could be back for this game, but I don't think they've announced it yet. So
yeah,
and his press conference not yet.
All right, if you're just tuning in, you can win $200 this weekend. All you have to do is be subscribed to this channel. You got to be the first in the timeline with the right score. You only can have one guess, only one entry, and you can win $200. Now, remember, it can't be on a past podcast. It can't be on a future podcast. It has to be on this podcast. We are so excited and so proud that you guys, we're over 1,300 subscribers. I'm blown away. Literally, when we went into this, we're like, we'll have a couple of hundred the first year and we'll grow. Because the ultimate goal, if you listen to this podcast, I live in Las Vegas. And when Miami plays Utah in Las Vegas, I want this to be one of the biggest podcasts. And we're going to throw a party that's going to throw down. I'm going to have ex-players there, ex-coaches there. I want it to be big, a big party. So that's the end goal, to give back to y'all, because that'll be so fun. 818 Callie Kane says, our wide receivers have 3 wide receivers over 600 plus versus OS Pooh, who has only 2 wide receivers. We could also have 4 wide receivers and 1 tight end with over 500 plus a piece versus, yep. Gotcha. Let's see. He was supposed to be, he warmed up last week. And Gidry talked about that. He said he looked good warming up. Gidry's like, it's like a piece of candy when you ask your parents to go to the store, but they ain't got enough money for the piece of candy. He was talking about Damari Brown like that.
Yeah, and like I said earlier, Cristobal, I was either Sunday or Monday. He said that there's a strong possibility he'll be back. I don't think we'll know till closer to the game, but I'm hoping he is. That'd be huge. So.
I mean, and when he is back, people don't expect him to be like, you cannot not play for three months and be like, well, he's going to be back to normal. Come on now. He's going to be good, but don't expect him to be like All-American, okay?
Are you new to football fans? Are you new to football fans? Of course they're going to expect him to be back.
I know. They're going to think he's going to be an All-American first day out. Look, my thing is, as long as they win this game, I'm glad he's back, because SMU, he'll be better. And then by the time we go to the playoffs, he'll be even better. So that's what we're building to. All right, drop your scores right now in the comments for your chance to win $200. You know the rules. I've said them enough. We'll put them in the caption or in the description as well. Forrest, give me your scores, sir.
By the way, did you see? I think OJ Frederick pulled his pants down a little bit last game. Remember?
Because he's wearing those Hoochie Mama shorts.
Yeah.
On the field.
I think it was a little cooler out or something. He pulled him down.
I love it. He's the only guy I know that plays football in hoochie mama pants. That's what we used to call him back in the day. OJ Frederic plays in hoochie mama pants.
Juicy Couture.
And I love him. I love it. He's a beast.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I would love for our defense to do what they did last week, but Syracuse is not Wake Forest, and it's in Syracuse. I've been to that dome when I went to college. Many games. They are nasty fans, and I mean.
Now, when you say nasty, are they like our fans that are basically adults, not college students?
It's a mixture. It's a mix. There's a lot because it's right on campus, the dome.
Oh, it is on campus. Okay.
You've got like all these like Central New York. They don't have a, this is their team. This is their life. I said it way early at the podcast when we started. I've been there twice, and twice people tried to fight me at my car, and I did nothing except have hurricane flags on my car. They were snapped off when I got back in my window. So I think it's going to be a tough game, but I do think we're going to win. I don't think Cam is going to let us lose. I hope that they run the ball a lot. I still think it's going to be a big score. I'm going to say for us to win this game, we have to score 45 points. So I have six touchdowns and a field goal. My man Borregales, by the way, he's not a finalist just because he's only kicked like 2 field goals all year.
I know.
I think it's like 12. He has like 52 extra points and like 10 field goals.
That's crazy.
But he's not a finalist. I mean, I get it. It's fine. He's still a great kicker. And so I'm gonna say 45-35. I think it's gonna be
45-35.
Yeah.
So they almost cover the spread. It's 11, but by the time the game starts, it'll probably be like 9 points, don't you think?
It went up. It was at 10. It went up a little bit. So
but it's gonna settle. I think by the time kickoff it'll be about 8-9.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
All right,
somewhere around there.
I like your thinking there. Now, if you go back to the beginning of the season, I said we were going to be 12-0. We are not. We were 10-1. And I said if they were to lose a game, it was going to be this one.
Yep.
I hate that I said that. And now that could come and bite us in the butt because if they make no mistake, if Miami loses this game, Cam Ward's not playing it, it's going to be a completely different football team for the bowl game, whatever bowl they go to. Okay. Yeah. Everybody leaving. All right. It's going to be a Florida State situation. Nobody's playing. If you going pro, they are not playing. So this team will look significantly different if they lose this Syracuse game. Kevin Beard, Luke, you will have all the wide receivers you want playing in that bowl game because everybody's out. Let's be clear. Everybody's going to be out. Now, saying that, I think they got too much on the line. I've listened to all the interviews with X, with the coaches. I think, and I will say this, if they come out in that 4-3, if they come out in a 5-3-3, we will lose that game. I'm letting you know right now. If we come out in a 5-3-3, we will lose that game. But I hope that we will come out in the 4-3. Akeem Messidor will be at an end. They will figure out a way to put Barron on the other side. Austin's back. Is it Austin or Austin? Austin. Hope he's back. Hope everybody's back. And I honestly feel like you, Forrest, Cam Ward will not let us lose this game. I'm going to say our defense is going to play lights out. We're not going to stop them, but I don't think they're going to score as many points as you think. I'm going 28 Syracuse, and I'm going to say 41 Miami. 41-28 Miami, and this will be a harder game than SMU because, look, I'm not getting ahead, but we will blow the doors off of SMU. It will be a USF. It will be one of those situations where they'll start off strong, but our team's just too strong. They're going to wear them down. It may take to the fourth quarter, but SMU will get worn down. They can't keep up with our Hogs. That's what we used to call them back in the day. Our dogs, hogs, whatever you want to call them today.
So, I hope you're right. I hope you're right with your score because it'll bode well for us going into the ACC championship and playoffs. Defensively. So
41, 28, come out in the 4-3, 3-4, whatever you want. Have linebackers in the game. Don't make them coverage. Don't make them cover. Blitz the hell out of Kyle McCord. Get him uncomfortable because when you get him uncomfortable, what does he do, Forrest? Throw interceptions, 12 of them.
Yeah, well, or just, little pitches.
Yeah. All right, guys. Yeah. So once again, before we leave, $200. Got to be subscribed to the channel. Got to be the first in the timeline with the right score. Okay? And this is going to go with the right score. Also, first in the timeline, and you have to do it before kickoff. You have to do it before kickoff, all right? Because I see in the timeline, I can see them in order who puts in the scores. Subscribe, first in timeline, exactly the right score on this podcast, and do it before kickoff. Forrest, any final words?
Yeah, I'm so sick of the SEC. So let's go Clemson this week.
Go Clemson.
Beat South Carolina. Go Georgia Tech and go Louisville. Let's stomp them. Let's go 3-0 against the SEC this week. I'm so sick of their BS and the favoritism they get. Like I'm rooting. We got to root for those teams. Watch those games this week too. That's it. This is the game. We beat Syracuse.
We're in, baby. This is what we.
Yeah.
All right. My thing is, of course, me and Forrest both on tour. Check them out. ForrestShaw.net, right?
Yeah, ForrestShaw.net. I'm off this weekend. I'm opening for Jim Jeffries, actually. So
I love Jim.
Yeah, if you're in Westbury, New York, Long Island, or you're in Atlantic City, I'll be there with him Friday and Saturday. I don't know if there's tickets available. You go to jimjeffries.com for his website. I'll be opening for him. ForrestShaw.net for my shows coming up. I'll be in Vegas the whole week of Christmas at the Comedy Cellar. So come out to those shows for sure.
Oh, yeah. Happy Thanksgiving to all the listeners and subscribers.
Yeah, we didn't even say that.
I can't believe I didn't say, man, I'm like Mario. Did you see Mario in the press conference?
He didn't
even know it was Thanksgiving. Like, that's how locked in this dude is. He didn't even know Thanksgiving was coming up.
And then he said Picadillo. That's my favorite. Which, Miami, sure. That's a dish in Miami. But it was just funny. It was like, oh, shit. Got to get the turkey.
Hey, you know what? We've had, for all you subscribers, I've had my ups and downs with the team. I've always said we're going to go 12-0. Look, we need to go 11-1, win that conference championship. It's positive vibes this weekend for you and your family. If you subscribe, even if you're watching this, much love. I hope you have the best Thanksgiving ever. Enjoy every single family member, even though sometimes it gets overwhelming because we're only all here for a limited time. So you got to enjoy them. Tell them you love them as well. All right. Check me out, michaelyo.com. Thank you for watching. We'll see you with hopefully a great instant reaction this Sunday or Monday coming up. All right. Love you guys. Talk soon. Late.